Hey everyone, welcome back to Terminal Yet Purposeful. As you can see, I look a little bit different than the last time I posted. So we'll talk about that. But I wanted to come on today because, in truth, I've been having a bad week. I've been having a really bad couple weeks. And today it kind of came to I'm really kind of feeling sorry for myself today. Oh, there's my dog in the corner. There's Baxter. Bye, bud. I'm in quite a bit of pain today. That's why it hasn't been a good day, truthfully. But I think things are going to get better from here on out. But what I like to do, and I know it's not always possible, is I do want to show the real life side of what it's like living with cancer and living with a long-term disease in general, or not immune disease. I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate to that on a daily basis. And I mean, I preach positivity as well as most people do when fighting cancer. Like, stay positive, look forward, just keep moving forward, keep moving forward. But I want to try and convey that that's not the reality of our everyday. There's going to be bad days. There's going to be bad weeks, bad months, bad years even. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully not bad years. But it's rough. And I find out now I'm almost 3 weeks out from when I started actively fighting cancer. Not since my diagnosis, but since my symptoms probably first progressed badly enough or worse enough that I noticed something was wrong, and we started trying to figure out what that was. So over those 3 years, I mean, it's definitely been the pathway of my cancer treatment has been low. Good news, bad news, low. Good news, low. Bad news, good news, bad news. I think that's relatable to a lot of people fighting things long term, whether it's MS, Parkinson's, diabetes, anything long term that you're dealing with. I think you can relate to that. And, I just want to say we're allowed to have our bad days, and we're allowed to feel sorry for ourselves and have actual feelings, because it's not realistic to tell somebody to be positive all the time. And for that to actually work, you're going to have bad news. You're going to have bad times. You're going to have symptoms that just kick your butt, which is what I'm doing right now. And, it's okay to cry. And I find myself a lot where, I went to work this morning and I was super happy. And, treatment is going so well for me right now. I've had a great response to it. And I have so much to be thankful for. Yet, my symptoms my side effects of this immunotherapy have been so overwhelming the past month. Look, and I'm crying just talking about it. That I finally understand now why some people choose to not do treatment or stop treatment or forgo treatment altogether, because they don't want to deal with the side effects, or they just can't handle it anymore. And I came home, and it was my ride home when I was alone in the car that clicked for me. And I've been having such bad skin issues lately, and they've been so painful, and limit my ability to walk and to do the fun things in my life that I love to do. Affected my vacation, which we'll talk more about in a second. And I get it. I get it now. I get it why some people are like, I want to stop my chemo regimen. Especially if you're older. And, I'm still 37, which to me does not sound young. But in the cancer world, I'm kind of a spring chicken. I mean, when it comes to adult cancers. Which is weird. This is the only community where I'm considered young. Not great. By the way, not great. But, if you're older, or, some people, they're dealing with their third and fourth recurrence bout of cancer, or like a flare-up or something like that of their autoimmune disease or something like that. And I kind of now understand if I had to, God willing, if by some long shot I was ever to go into remission, and it came back, and we beat it, and it came back again, and it came back again, I definitely think, sorry, I don't want to snot in front of all of you. Oof. Sorry, but like if I was dealing with several remissions where I had to put my body through this over and over and over and over again, I think I would have to highly consider saying no at some point. I get it now. The side effects can really just not get over. Oof. So, I'll kind of work my way backwards now. As you know, my clinical trial has been doing really well. My clinical trial at Fox Chase, I got a scan now almost a month ago, came back with really good numbers. The clinical trial, my immunotherapy trial, is shrinking my tumors all across the board. It's gotten rid of the cancer in my lungs for now, and has pushed it mainly back more towards the liver. I still have a tumor on my pituitary gland, which is attached to on my adrenal gland, which is attached to my kidney. That's on one side. I still have it in a lot of lymph nodes, but a lot of my lymph nodes are shrinking and getting more back to regular size, which is nice. My major tumor in my liver has shrunk significantly and has stayed shrunk, which is fantastic. And a bunch of other satellite tumors, a little bit of the larger ones, they found that shrunk significantly. So overall, I'm doing great. Right? This looks like the face of somebody that's doing great, doesn't it? I'm joking, by the way. But that part, no complaints. But the side effects on this immunotherapy I would probably say, are worse than chemo. Which I did not expect. And so many people go into immunotherapy thinking, great, like this will be an immune system boost, nice and easy, so many less side effects, no nausea to deal with. I will tell you, I have never dealt with such severe, painful, overwhelming skin issues on chemo. Like, I did have skin issues on chemo, and it was a constant uphill battle, right? But I've never been in as much pain due to my skin conditions as I have since being on immunotherapy. And also previously, my hair got really thin on chemo, but I didn't lose it all. And actually, I didn't lose it all this time. But as you can see, I'm wearing this cap. And I will reveal what it's hiding. So don't be shocked. Oh my God. So, it's crazy looking too, but look at this. Look at these huge bald spots. Isn't that nuts? So basically, this happened in 2 days. I was, it was the height of my skin condition flare-up, which my doctor thinks is no coincidence, actually. But, I went like this. My hair was feeling knotty. I went like this and kind of like loosely combed my fingers through my hair. And huge clumps of hair fell out on both sides. So you can see there. And I kind of freaked out a little bit. And I tried to see how well I could cover it in the mirror. And no matter what I did, it looked bad. So I was like, you know what? It's time. It's time to shave my head. And I put on some music. It was raining pretty hard that day. My husband was just like hanging out. It was like the weekend. And it was bad weather. And we were just hanging out in the living room watching TV. I went to the bathroom and cut most of my hair off. And it got to the point where I need to cut more at the back. I need to like try and shave it and make it more even. And I was like, I can't see back there. How do I do this? And then I called my husband into the bathroom and he was like, oh, so we're doing this today. He's a good sport about anything I choose to do, especially related to this. He's like, oh, whatever makes you feel better. And it did give me more control at that time, which I never thought that losing my hair would be that serious because it's never been that important to me, honestly. But pulling clumps of your hair out a lot, I think really does a number on your self-esteem. And just when I shaved it, I felt like I took a little bit of my power back. A little bit of, like, I felt like I took a little bit of more control back of the situation. So for now, I've been wearing caps. And I will say, people are nicer to you when you wear caps. I really hate to say this. But I think because now, since I have much more of a visible cue that I have cancer, I find that people at work have been nicer to me. No one's really pointed it out specifically after the first day that I came to work. And people are like, oh, that happened. And I was like, yeah, and I tell them the story about what happened. And my work colleagues are very, very, very supportive. In fact, they're some of my like biggest cheerleaders, which I love you guys. You make work worth it, right? So anyway, I've noticed that just when I go out places, grocery shopping, just people are nicer to me. Isn't that bad? So I'm kind of like, I might wear the cap a little bit longer instead of the wigs, you know? But I do have my fun wigs. These aren't brushed out or anything. But I change their names all the time. This is, I call her Coco Rachel. Because it looks like that iconic early, here, I'll try and put it on and see how it looks for you. It looks like a dark version of, the Rachel Green hair from early Friends. Like the flip, kind of. And I mean, I've got to adjust this more, so it's not going to look great. Just put on in a second like that. But that's my nicest wig. This was actually kind of donated to me. I got an anonymous, very generous donation from somebody out there who I don't know is anonymous to get this wig. And it was the best. I even talked to them beforehand. This was the best wig that I could afford, basically, with that donation. And I love it. Look how good. You know, I was always like, you know, obviously this needs to lay flatter, which I can do, but I'm not going to waste the whole podcast fixing my wig on here. I won't put you guys through that. The brunette Rachel. And this is Renee. Renee looks a lot more like my hair like last year, 2 years ago. So it's a brunette wig with the purple in the back, the pinkish purple. Isn't that gorgeous? Looks a little bit funny on now. I think I'm going to get this one, her professionally styled. My fantastic hairdresser, Amanda, she said she could do that for me. So that's her. And once again, like I gotta get her to lay a little bit flatter, and she puffs up and kind of gets more volume on the ends when you work it, which is what I've been doing. But I'm gonna get her professionally styled. She's a lot of fun, isn't she? I can tell I'm gonna have a good time with her. So once I figure out how to style these a little bit better, I'm gonna get the shine down, make them lay a little bit flatter against my head. Especially because this is where the bulk of my hair is, right here still, and this is the highest point of the wig. So I want to get it down a little bit because it's a little cone-heady. But she's great. I gotta put some color back in my face so it's not white and red. So that's my wig journey that I'm going to start hopefully soon. But yeah, people have been so nice to me in the wig caps that I'm kind of thinking about wearing them a little bit more than I anticipated. It's so bad to say that, but I mean, I guess take your wins when you can, right? Anyway, moving on. Look, we're already like almost 20 minutes in. I'm such a talker. These are crazy. You guys are angels for sitting through these long podcasts with me. So I'll try and go quick through here. So about a month ago when I got my great results back from my immunotherapy trial, my doctor said he was over the moon. I went to Key West, Florida for a celebratory trip. And that was pretty great. But my parents wound up during, they were supposed to go on a 70th birthday trip for my dad to Scandinavia. And that was during COVID. And it got canceled. So they had all this money from their hotels and from their travel agent and their flights that they booked, that they decided to do something a little bit closer to home and just rent a little Airbnb down in Key West, which is one of their favorite places, for a week. And they wound up finding a really good price for like a 3-bedroom. It was like 2.5 bedrooms, actually. Little tiny house in Key West. They're all tiny down there because Key West is tiny. Had a little tiny plunge pool in the back. And it was less than a block away from Duval Street, which is the main street that goes down Key West. But it was like the quiet end of Duval Street, towards the southernmost point of Key West. So they booked this property, and they're like, we have a little bit more room. Would you and Kevin, my husband, consider, finding flights and going down with us? You can stay in the second bedroom, no problem. And in this point at my trial, I just switched to, and we have to see my doctors and get blood work and every month, scans every 2 months. So I had some more free time. And my husband and I haven't taken a real vacation, more than like a night trip here and there, in 4 years. So we kind of jumped on that chance, and we got really good deals. 2 flights to Fort Lauderdale, and then we rented a car and drove down to Key West to this Airbnb that my parents rented. Oh my gosh. And the weather was fantastic. And I was actually feeling really good before the trip. I was walking the dog every day. And like, when I mean walking, like 1.5 miles, 2 miles. And I was doing okay. I had energy. I was having some problems retaining fluid. And my ascites was kind of an on and off chronic problem, which I still owe you guys a podcast about, by the way. Soon, it's coming. So yeah, we said yes. So we went down to Key West. I was feeling great. And it was weird. I wore compression socks on the plane, but as soon as my feet hit the ground on Florida, my feet were painful. It was painful to touch the ground. They were burning from the soles upwards. And they were rubbing up against my shoes, which I was wearing socks. Like good socks too. Like ones that don't just like soak up moisture, like cotton socks. And I just didn't know what it was. I just didn't know why it was so rapid as well. And it might have been swelling in my feet, but I had the most painful time trying to walk through the airport to the point where I stopped and got a wheelchair. It was that bad. My mom got a wheelchair for me, actually, because she's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Why is this happening? So once we got in the car, I took my socks off. I did notice that my feet were really swollen, even with the compression socks. And unfortunately, that lasted the entire trip. I could not walk through Key West more than a block without being like in excruciating pain in my feet. Just the burning, I kept getting blisters on the bottom of my feet from it. The easiest thing for me was to actually wear flip-flops, but even I couldn't walk more than a couple blocks in flip-flops either without having to stop because the pain in my feet were so bad. And when I stopped, I had to keep like moving my feet in place because the burning was just so bad. I couldn't even stand still. Luckily, being in the ocean was so helpful and being in that little plunge pool. So we went out on a boat one day and I spent the entire day walking through the waves on the sand, and it was like a spa retreat on my feet. It was great. And I was like, this is the most I've been able to walk this whole trip. It's great. But unfortunately, Key West was a blast. We found ways around it. Like we did like a trolley sightseeing tour. We did a lot of things closer to home. If we did things a little bit closer to home, my parents would come and like drop me off with our car, and then everybody else would go back and then come back later. They'd walk back. It was crazy. My poor family, they had to bend over backwards to accommodate me, because my feet were just so bad. And then on the way home, got off the plane, got right into a wheelchair. I learned my lesson, and my husband pushed me through the whole airport. And since then, I've had a lot of problems with my feet to the point where I really can't walk long distances. It's terrible. And there's this thing called chemo feet where like, your feet do burn and peel. So my doctor's not sure if it's that or if it's effects of the swelling in my feet that I've had a hard time with. I've had a lot of edema lately, just swelling in your body. CDs is a form of that. Swelling in your midsection here, ankles, feet, stuff like that, legs. It's slowly but surely getting better, but I've noticed that in one day or from day to day, I can gain and lose like 12 pounds in fluid. That's a lot of fluid. Oof. So we've been trying to do things. I'm on Lasix, but I got to keep my electrolytes up and I still got to make sure I'm drinking enough. I've got to get enough protein. And luckily, my doctor was like, okay, enough's enough. I want you to see like an oncologist, dermatologist, basically an oncology dermatologist, which I just saw yesterday. They got me in really quick. And he gave me the rundown. So, I'm off my treatment it's been a week, off my immunotherapy. And the dermatologist prescribed me my favorite thing in the world, prednisone, which I hate steroids, but I hate the skin stuff even more. And I want to try and get back to my normal life again. So it's just been really frustrating. I haven't really been able to walk long distances at all without my feet absolutely killing me. Either like burning and blistering and peeling and all that stuff. And on the last day of Florida, I developed this spontaneous blistering on my legs, where if I just get a slight irritation anywhere, the next day it'll pop up in a giant crop of blisters. And they don't know what that is either. They don't know if it's just an effect from immunotherapy, there's certain kind of cancers that can cause spontaneous blistering. Or my doctor thinks that, since I have so much fluid, it might be coming through my skin in this form. So the doctor told me I was taking too many steroid ointments. I'm off cold turkey for the next 2 weeks. Only taking prednisone. And then he gave me some creams to start in 2 weeks. That should hopefully get rid of it. He's confident that it will. So hopefully that's good. Because I'm going to work sitting on these blisters and they're popping. They're on the front and backs of my legs, on the back of my knees. Ugh, it's not fun. These big groups of little blisters everywhere that pop and reopen and pop and refill, and it hasn't been fun. So I want that to go away. I want my feet to get better so that I can move and not be in pain. So, if you're dealing with chronic pain and pain on a regular daily basis, I don't know how you're doing it too. I mean, it really does kind of suck the joy out of your life, doesn't it? And I mean, a lot of my life at this point has been staying positive through getting fresh air and taking my dog for a walk on a regular basis and gardening in my garden and being out in nature. And, on the weekends, was taking my dogs to parks and looking at the trees and the flowers. And I haven't really been able to do that because, my blisters are so bad. It just hurts to get up and stand and get up and stand. And, it hurts my feet to walk long distances right now. And I know that I'm losing a lot of my muscle mass. And it's been a rough time. It's been a rough month. But, as you know, I am about positivity and I am about moving forward. So what happened to me tonight that I wanted to talk to you about is I was having a rough time. And like I said, I cried on the way home thinking I finally get it. It clicked. I understand why people stop treatment or refuse it altogether. I get it now. I totally get it. And I was in the bathroom getting ready for bed. And I was listening to my hype music playlist, which I talked about before. Music that gets me in a great mood. And I listen to it every day before I go to work. I listen to it in the car a lot. And I put it on thinking it would hopefully make me feel a little bit better. And it just wasn't doing this. I was having a sad day. And I said, Alexa, shuffle songs by R.E.M. And she put on the song Imitation of Life. And Imitation of Life is not about this, but there are lyrics. But, everyone takes certain different meanings from different parts of things. And that's okay, right? So I was listening to Imitation of Life, which is a great song. It's one of my favorite songs. And the chorus is that cinnamon that tasted good. Or that... I'm forgetting it. I still have really bad chemo brain. That sugarcane that tasted good. That cinnamon that's Hollywood. And it just brought me back to Key West. And how I was sitting in a restaurant eating the best key lime pie I've ever had in my entire life. And how in Key West, I also went to this place called House of Pepe, Maison de Pepe, and had the best pina colada of my life. And it was a virgin pina colada. But a lot of times in Key West, they have all these stands all along, up and down the roads. And they're just little, almost alcoholic icy places. And a couple of them I walked up and I was like, can you make anything virgin? A lot of times they're like, no. Or you can have the kids' blue raspberry flavor. And I'm like, no, forget about it. I wanted a pina colada. And I got one on my first night at one of those stands. And it wasn't great. So somebody next to us ordered a nice drink. And it looked really good. And I was like, what can you do virgin here? And she's like, and it was a Cuban restaurant, and they were so nice. And she said, my love, we can do anything for you. Of course, I can make you any drink virgin. So I said, can you do a virgin pina colada? And she said, of course. Of course, my love. I will make you a virgin pina colada. That's what she said. She was wonderful. And my friend Britt that was with me, she was across the table, and she said, oh my gosh, that sounds good. I'll have a regular one. So she brings out these gigantic pina coladas in frozen ice glasses, big ones. And she put mine there, and it had a cherry and like a slice of something extra to denote that it was a virgin one. And she's like, here you are. And I took a sip of it, and I was like, oh my God. I said that out loud, and she's like, is it good? And she gave me that smile knowing that it was really good. I was like, this is the best pina colada I've ever had in my entire life. And she's like, see? And she touched my shoulder. She's like, that's a good thing. And I said, it sure is. I needed this. And so I was thinking about my sugar cane, my cinnamon, and how great certain aspects of that trip were. And then I thought back to, I always say this, my nieces. My sister-in-law posted this precious, today is my husband's birthday, and he's dealing with this of all things. He's a saint. So my wonderful sister-in-law, she gives me life. She's such a great cheerleader for me. She posted this great picture of my husband with my youngest niece, and he's holding her while she's holding a book. I guess they were reading, and she's kind of hanging off of him, and they both have these big smiles on their face. And I was like, this is my sugar cane and my cinnamon. This right here. And I got it. Oh yeah, I understand why people stop. But this is why I'm fighting. This is why I'm fighting and why I'm moving forward. So I can have more of these moments. So I can watch my nieces grow up. And I can be there when, hopefully, they go to their first dance. I can be there for most of their birthdays, or a big chunk of their birthdays. And I can just be the best Aunt Megan that I can be. And, I look at my pets, and they give me so much joy, don't they? I mean, they're the biggest pain sometimes, but talk about unconditional love right there. It's your pets. And I was like, that's my sugar cane and my cinnamon. The little things in life that just make life worth living. And I think for a lot of people, it's their kids, or it's their pets, or it's their spouse. And I always said, when I first got diagnosed, and I didn't think I was going to even live this long, I said, my biggest wish is that I can throw my husband a 40th birthday party, which is going to be next year. It's a year from now. It's a year from today. And I'm going to hold myself to that. I'm going to throw him a kick-ass party. He's not going to know I hit him. And yeah, I'm going to keep fighting so I can be there for my nieces for a long time. And my pets, right? And I have amazing friends that check in on me all the time and who really make sure that they're in my corner pushing me to fight and have the best life that I can be living right now. And that's why we do it, right? And that's what makes life worth living. So you guys, I'm sorry I'm a mess, but I want to just show you how This isn't rainbows and positivity all the time. Sometimes it's really hard. And unfortunately, I've had a lot of people in my life that have been diagnosed with cancer, with major illnesses lately, which has also been hard. So, if you guys are watching, my heart goes out to you. Because no matter what stage or what type of cancer, when your doctor is like, I have bad news, it's cancer, that's the worst thing for most people. That's the worst thing you can be told in your life. And the things that you have to go through, it's traumatic. There's a lot of trauma associated with cancer and with treatment and the psychological effects, and we don't talk about it enough. But this is it. This is real life, you know? And I wanted to show that. And, you know what? It's okay. I'm probably going to keep crying for another couple of days. And, you know, especially if you're in pain, I feel like it just adds a new level to, like, the depression that you can fall in, which is so easy to fall into when you have an illness. I feel like it's easier to be depressed than not be depressed, just about. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to up my meds. Which I can talk to her about. But hopefully, the painfulness part of my skin condition goes away soon after I'm on prednisone for a little bit. But I'm going to keep moving forward. And I'm going to keep doing this for my nieces and for my family, my pets, who are so adorable. They're all hanging around here somewhere. And my husband and my awesome friends. And I'm going to do it so I can listen to R.E.M. more. I love R.E.M. So I want to give you a little bit of hope. If you're familiar with this feeling, which I'm sure you are. Think about, you know, your sugar cane and your cinnamon that make life living. You know, that adds some joy to your life. And I've said this before, it's nothing profound. You know, after my husband noticed I was having a terrible day, he took me out back and he's like, look, the lilacs are in full bloom, which are my favorite flowers. And I planted 4 lilacs in our really small yard when we first moved in, and they're absolutely huge, and they're all blooming right now. And the smell is just so good. So that cinnamon smells so good. Those lilacs that smell so good. Those tulips and daffodils in your yard that are just so pretty right now. I mean, those are good little signs that sometimes life's worth living. And especially nowadays, I think we need those reminders. Because there's a lot of scary stuff going on in the world right now. And you yourself are dealing with some pretty scary stuff yourself. Everybody is. Whether you're fighting cancer or illness or you're not. People don't go around with easy lives unless you're a child, you know. Even then, little problems to them seem so massive, so I get it. So, I think I'll leave you because I've been doing this for 40 minutes and that's crazy. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to do a separate post with some product recommendations, but I wanted to give a shout out to this product called Gentry Quinn, that's the brand, Soothing Recovery Cream. And this woman I adore, who I'm friends with as much as we can be, considering we're both warriors and we live several states away. But Janice, you are out there. I don't know if she wants me to say her last name, can I? But if she's not, Jan Meyer. She is the head of curecca.org, I believe. She organizes this cholangio. It's called Quack Out Cholangio 5K. It's in Wilmington, Delaware, or outside of Wilmington, between Wilmington and Newark. Every year. This year it's on May 25th. So check it out. You could Google Quack Out Cholangio 5K if you're interested. You could donate. You could also do the 5K virtually. 100% of proceeds go towards cholangiocarcinoma research, which is fantastic. She keeps no money for herself, not even to reimburse herself for the supplies, which is wild. So Jana is a total hero in the cholangiocarcinoma community. She's a fighter herself. She's a survivor. She's in what we all call no NED, no evidence of disease. Even her husband, his mom passed away from cholangiocarcinoma. So they are like a true cholangio power couple, and they do so much great work for cholangiocarcinoma and awareness. And a shout out to Jan, but she helped develop this cream from this brand called Gentry Quinn. Gentry is Gentri. Quinn is Quinn. That's the name of an actual person, Gentry Quinn. It's called Soothing Recovery Cream. She helped develop it, and it's for chemo feet. It's supposed to stop the burning, the peeling, the itching. Not stop it, but soothe it. It's supposed to be great stuff, and it just came out. So once it's actually available and it's not waitlisted, I'm going to buy that because obviously I have terrible problems with my feet right now. So I'm going to see if it helps, but it sounds like it will. It's not that expensive for these specialty cancer creams. If you've bought as many as I have, a lot of them get really pricey. So, I will talk about it as soon as I can get my hands on it. Especially when I'm, recommending some products I've used that have actually worked for me. But yeah, check it out, and check out Jan's fantastic projects, curecca.org. Quack Out Cholangio 5K. Donate if you're interested. We'd really appreciate it. My team is on there. We're going to the 5K. We do it every year. Me, my family, my friends. I'm Team Megan. So you could find us as well. You can even join my team if you want, virtually or in person. Hopefully I'm able to actually walk the 5K this year. I might have to just volunteer at a table. We'll see. Which is fine. I would like to volunteer if Jan would have me, even if I can't walk it or walk that much. So, we will see about that, but thank you so much. Go check out her. I will be back soon. Thank you for listening to me. Especially, it's been such a long podcast, and I'm such a mess tonight, and I appreciate it. I love you all. Go do something nice for yourself today, please, please, please. And thank you for hanging there with me. And also check us out on Facebook, because I update the Facebook more than I update this. It's Terminal Yet Purposeful on Facebook. That's our name, Terminal Yet Purposeful. I'm Megan, the creator. My husband helps me manage the Facebook page as well. But we have a lot more updates on stuff there, because it's a lot easier to do little Facebook clips here and there than these huge videos that I do all the time. And you guys are angels for staying with me. Reach out to me via Facebook or here if you have any questions. Facebook's probably what I'll see the fastest and I'll respond to quickly. But yeah, join Terminal Yet Purposeful if you're into that, and these videos up there as well. So have a good night. Bye guys. I'll be back soon.